can somebody please expand on what, so over on this part of the world, I'm not exactly sure on what All-Stars was. Could you give us a brief breakdown as to what All-Stars was in terms of the competition and like the prize pool, perhaps? I don't know which one of you wants to take that. Antoine, we haven't heard from you in a minute. Do you know much about All-Stars, or do you want to give that one to Dylan?
I think Bill would probably give a better introduction than me.
Okay, yeah, so I was at All Stars. It was a competition with you had to have a sub 7 average to qualify. It was the Tuesday before North American Championships, and it's essentially marketed as like the top 30 cubers in North America. Not necessarily, but sure. And yeah, it was all live streamed. It was only 3x3, the only event there, and it was held in the middle of the Mall of America in the Rotunda. So there's like
that one. Okay.
Yeah, there's like an amusement park right next to us, and like if you go back and watch the streams, there's like crowds of people. There's literally like a crowd of people right in front of you, and then there's 3 stories of like people looking over railings watching you. It's just a mall competition, standard WCA format, but with all very competent high-level solvers. You needed to be sub 7 to qualify. And no one that got in was like a cuber who got sub 7 a few years ago and isn't sub 7 anymore. There was, I think, like at least 14 or 15 sub 6 averages attending the competition, like very high level stakes. Timon, Matty Hortowinaba, Luke Greiser, that was the top 3 podium. I got 4th, but yeah, prize pool wasn't. I don't think the prize pool was anything like SSL. I don't even think there was that big of a prize pool. I can't entirely recall, but yeah, it was just a live streamed event, not that long, super quick and to the point, and I think it did a really good job of like showing cubing off, not only in person to people who had never seen it before, but also to like the stream. I'm pretty sure the stream got over like 1,000 viewers across everything, so that's also huge.
Yeah. Okay. And so was it a WCA competition? I know it was WCA
Yes.
format. It was a WCA
Yeah, it was
competition.
it was a WCA competition. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I suppose my question is going to come back to, which it often does with WCA. How did that go ahead? I like that it went ahead. I love that it went ahead. I think it's great. Why is it that it was why is it happen now? Has it happened before? Does it align with what the WCA wants about participation for everyone and all that kind of stuff? It just feels a little bit like, oh, this happened. That's cool. I love that it happened, but why is it not more of a thing? Because it sounds like a really, really quite a good spectator event, right? Like, Antoine, thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the first of this type of competition, from what I've heard. There have also been similar competitions with like very tough qualifying lines, and with top speed cubers attending. As to why there are not more of this type of competition, I think it's because a lot of the WTA spirit is trying to get as many people as possible, kind of regardless of the speed. I think that's kind of been a theme in most WTA competitions, and kind of trying to have these elite competitions has been frowned upon by a certain portion of the community. But I do think that it is a very, very good complement to these all-inclusive competitions, which have people of every level. I think that if we want to grow cubing, it's important to have like those feeder competitions, and then elite competitions as well. Whether it's in the future we want to make regional championships to be kind of that elite level or not, I think that's something we can discuss as well. But I think that that's something that in the future it would be very good if we'd be able to do more of.
Yeah, right. So, so the WCA is into it, obviously. They're into making these kind of competitions. Where's the difficulty in making them? Because I get it. I do get the need for it, and I get why it would make a good event. My kind of vibe is kind of based on what you've said there, Antoine. I feel like the WCA is in the perfect position to be a feeder organization. It's a grassroots, come on everyone, let's solve cubes. Perfect. Easy, accessible, cheap events to go to. Where do we go to get more exclusive events? Yeah. Is that the WCA's remit, or is that somebody else's remit?
That's exactly what I was going to mention. It might be a little bit controversial, but I don't think that every competition has to be a WCA competition.
Yes.
So if you want to make events, they don't necessarily have to be completely, following WCA rules within the WCA framework. We can also have different formats, just like SSL or other of that kind of competition. And we can definitely include the WCA as being, as you said, like a feeder kind of event where we get many people in, and people go in for the experience of being able to participate in a competition. But we can also have any other kinds of events as well, which are not necessarily the WCA.